Hello and welcome or welcome back, my favorite movement enthusiasts. It's raining outside, it's so beautiful, the perfect weather for a nice atmosphere. Just let me get ready for this video, don the appropriate foot attire and go outside. I was wrong, I was so wrong, god damn it, I need to turn around. Sorry, I can't do this. I'd rather have my cat take another one of her smelly, huge poops on my hand again before I go outside. Let's just stay here where it's warm and cozy. Because today's video is all about things I wish I knew before I started stretching, or just things that would have helped me to know them a lot earlier. Damn, I wish I had started earlier. While I did start my mobility and flexibility journey in my very early 20s, if I had only started in my early teens, I would be so much further ahead. And I think that all the time, even though hindsight is 20/20 and there is nothing I can do about it. If you haven't started your mobility journey yet or working on your flexibility, trust me, even from someone who is rather at mid-level, if not fully advanced, that you better do it now. You better do it today. And even if you get really good at it, you're still gonna think to yourself, damn, I wish I had done this 10 years earlier. But that doesn't matter, and just thinking about it is a waste of energy. Which brings me to the second largest waste of energy, comparing myself to others. Every time I had mastered a pose, I would know in the back of my head, well, now you can do a split, but this dude can still suck his own. You're so far away from that.
Many people ask me weird questions, and one of them is, Alex, do you have bones? And I often say, yes, I do have bones, but before I go to work, I leave them at home.
What are you gonna do about it? It really demotivated me, and that's universal when it comes to fitness and health in general. You see all those people on Instagram flaunting their routines and their aesthetics and their physiques and whatever, and you see that you're not even close to them, and it can really put a dent into your motivation. So to get around that, I know it's hard, but comparing yourself to other people, especially when it comes to your fitness and health journey, is only going to be detrimental. Unless you are doing it in a healthy competition kind of way, be it with a gym buddy or a friend or whatever. But if you're doing it on social media with other people who you don't know how their circumstances are, maybe they are professionals, maybe they do this for a living, and you don't have the time, energy, or resources to add what they are adding to their routine, there's gonna be a whole problem and a whole issue. So try and stay away from that as much as you can. Now, this one is rather important. I wish I had done shorter sessions, but more frequently. When I started stretching, I thought that at the very least, I should allocate 30 to 40 minutes in a single session to working on my mobility. Now I know that even just doing 5 minutes multiple times a day would have been more beneficial. Increasing the frequency would have been more beneficial because, for one, most people don't have the time to allocate 40 minutes or a whole hour every single day to their flexibility work. So if you don't have that time, then just starting out with 5 minutes and maybe adding a second round of 5 minutes in the evening, and then adding a third round, maybe in your breaks between sitting down at work, maybe right after you get out of bed or right before you go into bed, and start adding multiple sessions a day. That would help tremendously. So even if you don't have the time to go through a full body training and workout routine, you still have at the very least a handful of minutes that you do every day, multiple times if possible, and this is gonna get you further and further, because in the end it's about net time in general. So if you do a 40-minute yoga session once a week, which is very good, don't get me wrong, or you do 5 minutes every day, twice a day, over the whole course of the week, you have already put in twice as much time than you did before. Even though it doesn't feel like it because you're only doing 5 minutes at a time, trust me, it is way more efficient that way. Now, this goes a little bit more into detail, but I wish I had known about these two absurdly efficient techniques when it comes to your flexibility journey in general. Number one is relaxation. The more you can relax when you're working on your mobility, the more likely it is for you to make faster and faster advances, because relaxation is basically the only way you can get a muscle to lengthen. And the second technique is a combination of learning how relaxation works and learning how to activate specific muscles in your body, and that is reciprocal inhibition. We've talked about this multiple times on this channel before, but that's basically just the mechanism of your muscles relaxing one side whenever you contract their antagonists. Meaning whenever you contract your biceps, your triceps has to relax, to lengthen, so we don't hurt ourselves. Using this in conjunction with relaxation through, for instance, breathing techniques can help you advance much faster. Just to get really quickly into how that would work. So now we have a stretch and I'm using my arms to pull my body closer to my legs. Of course, that is a stretch. However, number one, you can try and relax a little bit more. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths and let very loose. And then to use reciprocal inhibition in your stretches, all you need to do is flex whatever the antagonist of the muscle you're stretching is. So if you're stretching your posterior chain, then actively flexing your anterior chain is gonna pull you much deeper into a stretch. And now we're using our own body's mechanisms for our benefit. We have a whole lot of spindle neurons and motor feedback to our brain that tells us if we can lengthen a muscle or if we can't. And if you do not stretch regularly, your body, because it's scared that you hurt yourself and you pull too much on a muscle, it is gonna give your brain the signal that stop, we shouldn't lengthen any more than this. And to get around this, you need to be able to relax, you need to be able to activate the antagonists of your stretched muscles, and you need to do it frequently enough so your body learns that getting into a lengthened position is not actually that scary and it's not that dangerous. Which brings me to point number 5. I wish I had worked on many different styles instead of fixating myself onto one single style in the beginning. I started my yoga teacher journey in the beginning of my 20s and yoga was the thing for me. I knew this is the thing I want to work on, but I wish I had done more different things. There is static stretching, there is ballistic stretching, there is dynamic stretching, there is a whole movement culture around different people. For instance, Ido Portal, who do specific types of mobility work that are more free-flowing, more dynamic, less put into a box, including primal work and whatever. All of this stuff, now that I do it, I wish I had started earlier, as we said before, but I wish when I started that I wasn't fixated on one thing, because if I had tried multiple things, I would have definitely found multiple styles that I enjoy, because that's what happened now. So if you are starting out on your journey, you don't have to sit there and statically stretch a muscle for half a minute before you switch to the next one. You can work dynamically, you can work ballistically, you can go into those mobility free flow sessions. I have so many of those on this channel. Whatever it is, just try out different things and I'm pretty sure you're gonna like more than just one. And if it's only one, then at least you've tried multiple things and you know the one that you enjoy the most, because that's the one you're gonna stick with for longer periods of time. Which brings me to the final point. I wish I had done more at home. I know for most people, working out or stretching at home is not really that interesting. But for me, I know so many things that I can do with such low effort that just when I am at home and doing nothing, just adding those movements into my daily routine can be so helpful. If you're just sitting there and working on your laptop, why not bring your feet together and push your knees down while you are doing it? This is already mobility work. Why not cross over and push your knee down while you are working? If you are working in a standing position, why not stretch those hamstrings as well and switch between deep squat work and extended work? you don't have to do it for a long time. You can do like a minute in between every single hour where you work. You can do it when you're laying in your bed watching a movie. You can just pull in that leg and stretch your glutes, extend that leg, stretch your hamstrings, maybe go for a shoulder stretch. It doesn't really matter. But the amount of low effort things you can do from the comfort of your home, of your own bed, are so many and so beneficial that disregarding them does you a disservice, and I don't want that to happen. So these were just a handful of things I wish I had done much earlier, and I wish I'd known about much earlier, because it would have helped me advance much quicker. And even though I know them now, as I said, hindsight is 20/20, and hopefully you won't do some of these mistakes that I have done. That said, sadly that's all the time I have left for you today. I have to take this girl outside because it stopped raining and maybe she'll enjoy the weather now. But if you like the video and subscribe, because we have new videos on this channel every single day, and she's been joining me a lot and people seem to like that. So maybe you're one of those, and I'll see y'all very soon. Captain Cairo, peace out. Bye bye. Bye bye.